Hey everyone, hope you're all good. Just got an encouragement for you today. Some of you will be aware that my awesome wife celebrated a landmark birthday a couple of weeks ago. And we've got some generous people in our lives and they were so kind to her, and she was given quite a large sum of money. And she decided, what am I going to do with it? She could have bought clothes or, the obvious things, but she wanted to buy something that she'd keep a long time and would remind her of her birthday. So she's going to buy a piece of art. So we toddled off into town and looked at some of the art galleries in town, and we saw something we really liked, and she's going to pursue this idea. But it was a painting of a hummingbird. And the reason she liked it so much is because it reminded her of something that I had spoken about some months ago in church. Who knows, men, that when your wife remembers things you talk about, that's a win right there. And I found that encouraging. But she loved the hummingbird because of this. What I talked about was the difference between a hummingbird culture and a vulture culture. And when a vulture wakes up, it gets up in the morning and it is hunting for things that are dead and dying and decaying. It's what it feeds on. But a hummingbird wakes up and it's looking for nectar and sweetness. It's what it feeds on. And so the point I was trying to make is, could we have a hummingbird mentality as opposed to a vulture mentality, when I believe so often what's going on around us is actually pulling people apart, tearing people down, and it's not sweet and lovely at all. And it reminded me of something that the Apostle Paul writes in his letter to the Philippian church. The Philippian church is a group of people that he loves so much. They've always looked out for him. He's got a great relationship with him. And he writes this letter that we call the book of Philippians, but it's really a letter he writes to them from imprisonment. And he's saying, thank you for looking out for me and thank you for supplying for my needs. And he ends it like this. He says, finally, my brothers and sisters, finally, this is the thing I want to say at the end. He says, think on things that are noble and lovely and excellent and praiseworthy and trustworthy. Think on these things. And I love that, because where you allow your mind to go, what you focus on is actually what grows in your life. So if we could be people that focus on the things that are good around us, the people that are good around us, the things that are praiseworthy and excellent, what happens is we become like the hummingbird. We start looking for what is good and sweet and what is nectar to our very soul. When we're living in a world that has a bit of a vulture culture, when they're looking to pull people down and criticize and all these kind of things. So my encouragement to you today is to learn the lesson the great Apostle Paul gave to the Philippians church, and to train your thinking to think on the great things and the great people and the great events that are around us. And let that be your focus, because it's good for your soul and it helps you, and it will help you to help others. I hope that blesses you. Be encouraged. You're an awesome person. Have a great week.